I got it because I had to protect myself when I was little. I had to protect myself. Like I could be standing and somebody backhand me, and I had to, catch it or whatever. So, because my brothers and sisters, a lot of things in boxing.
Riddick Bowe, three-time heavyweight champion, Olympic silver medalist, and the man who dethroned Evander Holyfield, faced some of boxing's biggest names. His record? 43 wins, 33 by knockout. But behind the belts and the knockouts, there was one opponent who truly shook him. One man whose power, skill, and presence left Bowe questioning himself in the ring. And no, it's not who you think. Today, we reveal the fighter Bowe calls his toughest challenge ever. Riddick Bowe has achieved many feats in his boxing career. An undisputed heavyweight champion and Olympic super heavyweight silver medalist, he has had a total of 43 wins and 33 knockouts throughout his career. One of his most famous matches was the iconic trilogy he had with Evander Holyfield. His career had peaked at the undisputed heavyweight title against Evander Holyfield in November 1992, and in what became one of the most classic fights in boxing history, Bowe won in a unanimous decision after a brutal 10th round. This showdown was so iconic that it was later named Ring Magazine's Round of the Year. Later on, he would have a rematch with Holyfield in 1993. However, this particular fight did not go as planned. Bowe lost the titles in a fight that many remember not only for Holyfield's win, but also for the crazy stunt by a fan man who crashed into the ring mid-fight. Perhaps Bowe felt that it had not been a fair fight, or maybe he got distracted. But whatever his reason was, he sought to redeem himself in another showdown with Evander Holyfield. His rivalry with Holyfield finally came to an end with a third and final bout, where Bowe secured an 8th round stoppage, cementing his place in the history of the heavyweight championship. By now, you must be thinking, is Evander Holyfield the man Bowe talked about? The one who posed the greatest threat in the ring? If not Evander, then who? Who hit harder than Holyfield and made Bowe rethink his entire strategy mid-fight? Bowe's early life and career. Born August 10, 1967, Riddick Bowe is a former American professional boxer and professional kickboxer who competed between 1989 and 2008 in boxing. His career in kickboxing spanning a much shorter period at the end of his career from 2013 to 2016. His major accomplishments include holding the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship in 1992 and the Super Heavyweight silver medal at the 1998 Summer Olympics. His achievements are evidence of his hard work and resilience. Perhaps, given his origin, he had a motivation to be the best both inside and outside the ring. The 12th of 13 children, Bowe grew up in the rough streets of East New York, Brooklyn. His childhood witnessed significant trauma caused by the loss of his brother, Henry, who died from AIDS, and his sister, Brenda, who was tragically murdered during a robbery. Despite these challenges, however, Bowe found a passion for boxing, a sort of release for his emotions, a venting avenue. Interestingly, Bowe and fellow boxing legend Mike Tyson even shared a 6th grade classroom. He had his first fight as an amateur at the age of 17 in 1984 when he knocked out his opponent, James Smith, in just 4 seconds. During this period, he also competed at the prestigious New York Golden Gloves Championship and other tournaments. He later went on to win 4 New York Golden Gloves Championships, the 1985 Novice Championship, the 1986 Open Championship, and the 1987 and 1988 Super Heavyweight Open Championships. Bowe was a man on a mission to become the most legendary heavyweight champion in history. As of 1985, he was already ranked the #1 light heavyweight in the United States. But Bowe didn't stop there. He faced Lennox Lewis in the 1988 Seoul Olympic Finals, where, despite dominating the first round, the fight ended controversially, with Lewis winning by stoppage, a decision disputed by many, including the commentators. He would eventually rise to boxing stardom after winning a silver medal in the super heavyweight division at the Olympics, turning professional the very next year. His loss at the Olympics the previous year did not deter him. Rather, it spurred him to go professional, signing with renowned trainer Edward Futch, who saw tremendous potential in him. According to him, he had more potential than any boxer he had ever trained. Bowe stayed active, fighting 13 times in 1989. In September 1990, he made his first step up the professional boxing ladder by fighting fated ex-champion Pinklon Thomas, whom he dominated until Thomas gave up after 8 rounds. After turning professional in 1989, Bowe went on to become a 2-time world heavyweight champion. By 1992, his relentless dedication paid off. He became the undisputed heavyweight champion by winning the World Boxing Association, WBA, World Boxing Council, WBC, and International Boxing Federation, IBF, titles after defeating the then unbeatable former cruiserweight champion, Evander Holyfield. That same year, Bowe was named Fighter of the Year by the Ring magazine and the Boxing Writers Association of America, creating his legacy amongst the 1% of the sports elite. Bowe vacated the WBC title later that year in protest, instead of defending the title against his #1 contender, Lennox Lewis. This left a dent in his career until 1999. In a rematch with his nemesis, Holyfield in 1993, Bowe narrowly lost the WBA and IBF titles in what would be his only professional defeat. But he wasn't done just yet. In 1995, he made history by becoming the first boxer to win the heavyweight titles of all 4 major sanctioning bodies, WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO, when he claimed the WBO, World Boxing Organization title by defeating Herbie Hyde. Later that year, he fought Holyfield for the 3rd time. This time, he won decisively by knockout, becoming the first boxer to defeat the legendary Holyfield by knockout. 1996 saw Bowe engage in 2 brutal slugfests with Andrew Golota, both of which ended controversially when Golota repeatedly hit him with low blows. At this point, Bowe had started becoming both physically and mentally drained from these fights, and he officially retired from boxing shortly after, only returning a few times to make low-key comebacks in 2004 and 2008. His legacy, however, as a fighter, remains significant in the history of heavyweight championship boxing. In a 2010 article by Boxing Scene, Bowe was ranked as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, and in 2015, he was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. As of 2025, when making this video, Bowe still remains the last American undisputed world heavyweight champion alive. Standing tall at 6 feet 5 inches and weighing between 235 and 245 pounds in his prime, Riddick Bowe was a formidable force in the ring, combining size, strength, skill, and resilience to dominate the heavyweight scene. Bowe wasn't just a fighter, he was a legend, an epitome of the results of what consistency, hard work, and resilience can bring about in a man. But given his history of fights, who is that one person who had this famous, legendary heavyweight champion struggling to catch his breath? At 57, Riddick Bowe made the most shocking revelation that many wouldn't even think of in an interview tagged "Best I Faced." In that interview, he walked us through the trajectory of his career, commenting on every opponent he's ever faced in the ring. But the thing that made the interview shocking wasn't the endless names of the big dogs he came across in the industry. Rather, it was the mention of an unexpected, often overlooked opponent, Herbie Hyde. According to Bowe, Herbie was the hardest puncher he's ever faced in his career. By now, the epic trilogy between Bowe and Holyfield is no news to boxing fans and even non-boxing enthusiasts alike. The two had fought in the ring 3 times, with Bowe winning 2 out of the 3 matches. This resulted in Bowe becoming the first man to defeat Holyfield, claiming the undisputed heavyweight championship. Their rivalry has been recorded in the history of heavyweight boxing as one of the stiffest and greatest rivalries in heavyweight boxing history. And so, given this history, one would expect that he would name his nemesis as his toughest rival, but this was not the case. Another good speculation by the public was that maybe his greatest rival was Lennox Lewis, another boxer with whom Bowe had unfinished business. Lennox Lewis was the one boxer who defeated Bowe during his amateur boxing days in the Olympic finals, even though Bowe dominated the first round. Although there were talks of a rematch, fans' hopes of seeing these two in the ring together again were dashed when Bowe trashed his WBC belt during a press interview, showing that he would rather relinquish the title than face Lewis Lennox under terms which he considered unfair. One would think that just maybe, the legendary heavyweight champion was scared of facing the one person who had defeated him during his early years. Shouldn't that then be his greatest and most dreaded rival? Given this history, Bowe's revelation about Hyde being the hardest puncher he has ever fought comes as a shock. In the interview, he said, "You're not going to believe this, but I would have to say, Herbie Hyde. He hit me, and I thought, oh man, I can't allow this guy to hit me again because I don't know what I'll see next." He continued, "Initially, I was trying to box him, and he was really fast. I said I can't box him because he got me beat, so I fought him." Bowe faced Hyde in Las Vegas in 1995 for the World Boxing Organization WBO heavyweight title. However, despite the power he says he felt from Hyde's punches, Bowe still managed to knock out the British heavyweight champion in the 6th round. This was the remarkable victory that marked the beginning of Bowe's initial comeback and the beginning of his final reign as world champion, which he followed up with a title defense against Jorge Luis Gonzalez several months later. Herbie Hyde, also known as the Dancing Destroyer, was a popular figure in British boxing during the 1990s. He held the World Boxing Organization heavyweight title twice in his career and was known for his massive speed and aggressive style. According to his career record, Hyde has won 49 out of 53 fights, with 43 of those victories earned by knockout. It would seem that Hyde is also not one to be overlooked in a hurry. His track record and Bowe's comments on his strength and prowess show that he was indeed a formidable opponent. Bowe's acknowledgement of Hyde's strength adds an interesting footnote to both men's careers. It shows that even in a career filled with legendary matches against strong opponents, sometimes it's the unexpected moments that leave the strongest impression. Although Bowe still won that fight in the round, it was not without a scare. Hyde didn't win, but at least he gave his opponent a run for his money. It would seem sometimes that the scariest punch isn't the one that knocks you. It's the one that wakes you up, the one that makes you think twice and urges you to get up and fight for your life. But just what about this match struck the legendary Bowe in this manner? At 57, he is coming out to shock the public by breaking his silence on the toughest puncher he faced during his professional career. This has gotten fans talking. Is this it? Or is he just trying to cover up the fact that the most anticipated match between him and Lennox Lewis never happened? The legendary match between Bowe and Herbie Hyde took place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Paradise, Nevada on March 11, 1995. Hyde was making the first defense of the title he had won from Michael Bent in a fight that resulted in Bent suffering career-ending injuries, while Bowe, on the other hand, was trying to find his way back into the World Championship picture 16 months after he lost his place as champion initially to Evander Holyfield. Through the first 2 rounds of the fight, Hyde lived up to his nickname of the Dancing Destroyer, avoiding the bigger and stronger Bowe while occasionally stopping to deliver a flurry of punches without letting Bowe land many punches. As such, Hyde was able to easily win the first 2 rounds on the judges' scorecards. Perhaps this was why Bowe had stated, "I couldn't box him. He was too fast. So I fought him." However, Hyde's success was short-lived, as Bowe would begin to take over the fight in round 3. With just a minute to go in round 3, Hyde's downfall began as he fell to the canvas. Though he was dazed, the referee Richard Steele mistakenly ruled it a slip rather than a knockdown, giving Hyde another chance to avenge his opponent, Bowe. However, due to his technique, his previous barrage of punches to the much larger Bowe had visibly exhausted him. Meanwhile, Bowe was now ready for him. The whole situation became almost similar to a case of slow and steady wins the race. Upon careful review of the replay, it appeared the knockdown was the result of an unintentional rabbit punch from Bowe's forearm as Hyde was lunging in. Hyde was able to get back on his feet, but he had trouble finding his balance. Bowe, seeing this as an opportunity, took it and quickly went on the attack. This sent Hyde back to the canvas only seconds later. Luckily for him, he was able to answer the referee's 10 count and continued with the fight. Then he tried to go on the attack and fight back, but he was knocked down for the second time in the round by an uppercut neatly delivered by Bowe. However, he didn't give up. He was again able to get back up and would survive the remainder of the round. In round 4, Hyde rebounded and was able to stagger Bowe with a multiple punch combination. Bowe then tried to counter with a left hook, but Hyde was able to dodge the attempt, and Bowe's momentum sent him to the canvas. Again, the referee ruled it a slip rather than a knockdown. In the round's final minute, Bowe would gain another 2 knockdowns after hitting an exhausted Hyde with several combinations, but Hyde was able to recover both times to survive the round. The fight was tough, getting all the way to round 6. In round 6, however, Bowe was able to gain a 6th knockdown about midway through the round. Not wanting Hyde to take any more punishment, Bowe's corner threw in the towel in hopes that Steele, the referee, would end the fight. However, because it was against the rules, Steele simply ignored the towel and allowed Hyde to continue. With 50 seconds left, Bowe was able to knock down Hyde for the 7th time. Hyde was counted out by Steele after not being able to get back to his feet. As such, Bowe was rewarded with a knockout victory in the 6th round. This was how the famous match ended, adding to the number of victories Bowe had and increasing his popularity amongst boxing fans. One thing about Bowe was that although he was renowned to be a legendary champion and an amazing boxer, his career did not, however, take the trajectory that many people expected it to take. His career saw a steady decline after the Golota fights, and then he left the ring in 1997 and returned sporadically, most notably in 2004 and 2008, but his comeback lacked the spark of his earlier days. Soon after leaving the ring, he made a surprising career move by joining the United States Marine Corps Reserve in 1997. He stated that his decision stemmed from a desire to make his mother proud and to rededicate himself to training before returning to boxing. However, his stint in the Marines was short-lived. After only 3 days of intense physical training at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot and Paris Island, he realized that military life wasn't for him and decided to quit, marking an unexpected detour in his life. In March 2013, Bowe attempted another bold transition, this time into the world of kickboxing. However, the fight, which took place in Pattaya, Thailand on June 14, 2013, was a tough challenge for the former boxing champion. Bowe was knocked down 5 times by leg kicks, and the match was stopped midway through the second round, bringing a swift and difficult end to his brief kickboxing career. Later again, that same year, he announced yet another career pivot, revealing plans to become a professional wrestler. So he began training to make his debut for the UK-based Preston City Wrestling Organization. However, this venture also stalled when a disagreement with his new agent caused PCW to cancel Bowe's appearance, ending his wrestling aspirations even before they could take off. Despite these post-boxing setbacks, Bowe's influence reached beyond the ring. In 1993, he became the star of the video game, Riddick Bowe Boxing, which was released on various platforms and further solidified his status in pop culture. That same year, he made a guest appearance on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, playing a bully named Bowe in the episode titled You Bet Your Life. He also appeared in the iconic music video for the notorious Biggs hit song, M.O. Money, M.O. Problems, in 1997, highlighting his enduring presence in both sports and entertainment. Some fans, however, feel that he did not truly achieve his potential in the boxing industry. Riddick Bowe's career was filled with promise. A legend in the heavyweight championship, his epic trilogy with Evander Holyfield, particularly their first fight in 1992, remains one of the greatest heavyweight clashes in history, as well as the fact that he made history as the first heavyweight to hold all 4 major world titles: WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO. Yet despite these achievements, Bowe's legacy is marred by what many saw as wasted potential. His refusal to face Lennox Lewis, which fractured the heavyweight division, and his choice of supposed easier opponents led to widespread criticism. According to them, Bowe dropping the WBC belt in the garbage bin was an act of cowardice. A cowardly act that proves Bowe never wanted to face Lewis as a professional in the first place. But it's not just Bowe's detractors who were persuaded to believe this. It's one of those things that's been repeated so often for so long that it's almost become an accepted fact among most online boxing fans. It is often wondered how, with so much quality during the 1990s landscape, more elite-level fights didn't happen. He never faced Iron Mike Tyson. And even more importantly, he never faced Lennox Lewis. In 2017, The Ring magazine ranked Bowe the 19th greatest heavyweight of all time, calling him a super talent, but also a super waste for not fully living up to his natural ability. He may have finished his career with only 1 loss, but his untapped potential still haunts his legacy to this day. Still, he remains a pivotal figure in heavyweight boxing, forever linked to one of the sport's greatest rivalries. And now, he has stated that Herbie Hyde was the hardest hitter he ever faced. But was it really the force of his hits that shook Bowe, or the mere surprise of it? Would he have said the same thing if he had faced his former classmate and fellow champion, Mike Tyson, in his prime? What about Lennox Lewis? If that wasn't his greatest contender, then why did he run away from a rematch? Or is there someone else Bowe's not telling us about? Someone he had never stepped into the ring with, but always dreaded? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know who you think was the deadliest heavyweight champion in the 90s. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, check out our channel for more interesting videos.